What is going on, guys? Welcome to my first ever YouTube video. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to build this fun little CSS card. We're going to use Photoshop, HTML, CSS, and some JavaScript. Hope you enjoy it. Stick around. So for the first half of the tutorial, we're going to be building the design in Photoshop. So if you guys want to follow along, first things you got to do is go to the link in the description. It's going to take you to my GitHub, and you'll be able to download the files you see over here. It has the images we're going to use inside the design. But if you guys completely don't even want to design this and just jump straight into the coding, you're going to find the images inside the IMG folder right here, which are the exported ones ready to go for the coding part. So you can skip ahead and do that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are in Photoshop. Let's do File, New, 2000 by 2000, really doesn't matter. Hit OK. Let's come back to the design. Let's hit I for the eyedropper tool. Select the background color. And let's see what it is. It's CB. Okay. Let's come back here on the background. Hit G for the paint bucket. Let's just drop it right there. Hit C to crop. Let's make it a bit wider. Something like that works. Hit OK. We're going to make a new layer, and we are going to build the body of the card. So let's pick the rounded rectangle tool. Let's pick a white color. And let's draw the body of the card. Let's make it about 760 width, something like that. That looks fine. Drop it right here, and we are going to grab the image from the assets. Let's drop it on top. Position it right here, and then come in between the two layers. Hold Alt till you see this arrow. Double click. Just click. And that is going to mask the image. Let's center it. Center Homer a little bit, and then I want to bring him down because he's way too close to the top. Yeah, that looks fine. Let's zoom in a little bit. Now you guys see this gap over here. We don't want that. So with the Homer's image selected, hit E for the eraser, click one time, and that is going to unlock the image. And then we're going to select the magic wand tool, hit W, select the empty space on the top, go to image, or was it edit? Yes, edit, fill, make sure it's on content aware, hit OK, and deselect that. Photoshop does a pretty good job, of filling out that blank space, but there's gonna be a few hiccups right here. If you can see, there's like a little bit of shadow. That's fine. Just click on this icon to lock the transparency. Hit B for your brush, right click, select like a soft brush, and then kind of pick this light color right here. Make your brush a little bit smaller, and then just slowly paint away. Slowly paint away this stuff until it looks good. And then if you zoom out, that looks good. Okay. So the body of the card has a border and it has a drop shadow. So let's do that next. We are going to select the card, go to Effects, Stroke, and look at that. That actually looks good. And we are going to give it a drop shadow. Let's play with the distance a little bit. Cool. You can also play with the size of it, makes it sharper or a little bit more blurry. It's completely up to you. Anyways, when you're satisfied, you hit OK. That looks great. What's next? The logo. Okay, so we are going to grab it from the assets, come back to Photoshop, drop it, and it's gonna mess some stuff up. Just don't worry about it. Hit Control, right bracket key, it's gonna bring it up, and then come back to Homer's image. As you see, that all the masking got messed up. Don't worry, just hold Alt again, click in between the layers, and that's done. So let's grab the logo again. Let's put it somewhere here. That looks good. in the center. Now, if you guys see, when I zoom in, the yellow of the logo doesn't match Homer's yellow, so we're gonna fix that. Just select the logo layer, hit E again, click to unlock it. The easiest way to fix this is just with the magic wand tool. So hit W, select the first part, make sure you only click on the yellow part, hold shift, select all the yellow parts. Bam, 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 boom, and bam. With that still selected, hit B for brush, right click, make sure you're on a solid brush, hold Alt, select Homer's yellow, and paint away. Paint, 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 paint. And then hit Control D to deselect. And look at that. Now the logo matches very nicely. Okay. Now, if you guys want to copy the same layer style from the card to another object, it's very easy actually. You just click on the object, right click, copy layer style. Let's go to the Simpsons logo, right click, paste layer style. Now it's going to paste it with the stroke. We don't want the stroke, so we just turn it off. And then we can actually fix the drop shadow. Let's play with the distance a little bit because that's too much for me. And there you have it. That looks great. Now we are going to work on the clouds. Now you guys, this is going to be tough if you don't have a tablet, because I drew mine on the tablet, but I'll show you a little trick. Just select the ellipse tool, select the white color, and do your best job. Just start drawing some circles and some ellipses. Damn, damn, dome. Kind of like that, you know. Just do your best to draw like a nice little looking cloud. That looks cool. Let's do that. Okay, let's say you are satisfied with the shape of the cloud. Hit L for the lasso tool and then draw a shape kind of like this. This is going to be the shadow part. Hit B for brush. Let's select the white and we're going to make it a tiny bit darker. Again, we're going to lock the transparency right here and we are going to paint the shadow. Control D to deselect and you have a nice little cloud with a shadow on it. Okay, let's paste the layer style on it. Oh wow, this is way too far. Let's bring it back down. Let us bring it back down a little bit. Yeah, that looks cool. Okay, so we got the cloud. Let's put it kind of into place and then let's bring it down. Control left bracket key. Let's position it somewhere here. Let's bring the logo kind of down. Something that looks decent. That looks cool. Now select the cloud, hold Alt, drag another copy, hit Control T, flip it around, hold Shift while you're flipping it, hit Enter, brush again, and then let's just paint white because we are going to make it unique. Let's hit L for the lasso again. Now we're going to draw the shadow again. B for the brush. Let's select this shadow part, the color. Paint, done, deselect, Control T, and we are going to draw a smaller little cloud. Let's place it here, and look at that, it looks like a different cloud. And we can raise this one up a little bit. Really doesn't matter, you can play with it. We're actually going to animate these in JavaScript, so really doesn't matter. Hey, look at that, guys. This looks cool. Okay, so what's left? The button. Okay, that one's very easy, actually. We are going to make a new layer. We are going to select the rounded rectangle tool. Let's select Homer's color. And let's draw the body of the button. Let's say that looks fine. I'm going to drop it right here. We are going to right click on it and paste layer style. And again, I don't know why, but the distance is just too much on the shadow. We'll bring it back down. That looks cool. Now, if you guys see over here, I have a little fake 3D effect going on over here. That's very easy to do, actually. Let me just select this color. We're going to come back to our button. Let's zoom in a little bit. We are going to lock the transparency, hit B, and then make your brush a little bit smaller. And hold shift and paint a straight edge. Can even make it a little bit smaller. And as you guys can see, it just gives it a 3D effect, like it's kind of a stair. This one's going that way. This plane is going down that way. Anyways, I think this looks cool. So, what's next? Hover me, the text. Okay, let's see. Hover me, hover me, hover me. And by the way, you guys, the font is in the downloads. It's called the Simpsons font. So, you guys don't have to search for it. Let's just hover me. And I don't know, it looks a little bit big, no? Let's do 50. Grab it. Put it somewhere here. Shift, hold the background of the button. Align it in the center. That looks good. And again, if the button looks too high for you, just again select the lighter color. Make your brush smaller. Hold shift. And draw the edge again. And then we can bring this down. Just like that. There you go. What do you guys think? This looks good to me. Okay, let's move on to the other part of it. Okay. We are going to select everything. Hold Alt. Drag a new copy. Let us delete Homer's image. And let's grab the clouds and the logo. Shift them up. Kind of like in the design. And then we got the little donut in the background. Okay, cool. Let's grab the donut. Let's throw it in here. Let's put it in place. Grab it. And again, with the control left bracket, let's bring it down. And there it is. And then you guys can position it the way you want. You can even hold shift and select both the donut and the body of the card and align them. Okay, that looks cool. What else? We got Homer Simpson and the description. Okay, let's grab the text. And we are going to do it in black. And we are going to type Homer Simpson. It looks a little bit small. Let's do 60. That looks cool. And then just place it somewhere here. Looks great. Now, I believe I changed the design of the text, So, I really don't want to bother you guys by typing this and wasting your time. So, what I'm going to do is just drag it. If I can select it. Right there. Let's just grab it and drop it. For now. And I'm going to assume this looks good. Okay. Just place it somewhere like that. And you really, guys, don't have to do this step. I mean, this is good just to visualize how the card is going to look. But at the end, you have full control in HTML. So obviously, it's not a necessary step for you guys. But there you have it. The card is done. Now, what's left to do is actually, I'm going to show you how I exported the files. So what we're going to do is, let's say we want to export this button. What you do is you come to the layer, you hold Alt, and you click on the little eye icon. What happens is it hides everything except that one. Let me do it again. Hold Alt, click, everything comes back. Hold Alt, click on the little eye icon. Everything is hidden. So when you got this selected, what you want to do is, because we don't want to export it with the drop shadow, we're going to add that in CSS. So we are going to double click on the effects, take out the drop shadow, hit OK. Once that's done, go to image, trim, make sure transparent pixels is selected, top, bottom, left, right, OK. And bam, it's cropped and it's ready to go. So you do Alt, Control, Shift, S. You save it as a PNG, it's only 2 kilobytes. So there you go, that's done. And then again, let's say you want to export this big cloud. What you do is you select the cloud, hold Alt, click on the eye. Now it's selected by itself. And the reason I tell you guys to export it without the shadow is exactly like this. Watch this. So with the shadow selected, let's go to image, trim. As you can see, it takes the shadow in there. And if we save this for the web right now, this cloud is about 21 kilobytes. Okay. Now let's select the cloud. Let's double click on it. Let's take out the drop shadow. Let's go to image, trim again, hit OK. Now, if we save this for the web, it's only 12 kilobytes. So we took out about 10 kilobytes out of the image, and we are going to add the shadow anyways in CSS. So it's pointless. You gotta shave every kilobyte you can off your images. You gotta really work on optimizing them. Anyways, that's how I exported the images. Same thing for Homer, same thing for the logo. You obviously don't need to export the font because we're going to import it. You're going to export the donut. You don't need to export any of the text. That's pretty much it, guys. So in the next section, we're going to jump into the code. See you there. Okay guys, we are ready to code. So somewhere on your computer, desktop, doesn't matter. Let's right click, let's create a new folder. Let's call it the Simpsons card. We are going to go inside, and what you guys are gonna do is copy the font and the image folder, just those two. From the downloads, copy them and paste them into your folder, and then right click and open with code. And I hope you guys have VS Code because it's actually one of the best tools out there for web developers. So I highly suggest that you guys download VS Code. It's the best thing out there. Anyways, with VS Code ready, we are going to hit Control tilde to bring the terminal right here, and we are going to create an HTML file. So we are going to type touch index.html, and that creates our HTML file right here. And we need to create a folder for the CSS file. So we are going to type make directory, and we are going to call it CSS. And then we are going to create the CSS file. So we are going to type touch CSS slash, let's do style.css. That created our file right here. We have the images, and we are good to go for now. Let's double click on the index file. Let's hit Control exclamation mark, or was it Shift? Shift exclamation mark. That's going to bring up Emmet, and it's going to create this template for us. Let's call it the Simpsons card. Okay. And we need to link our style sheet. So let's do link tab, and the source is going to be css slash style.css. Okay, now we are going to create the main container that is going to hold the card itself. So let's do main, and let's call it main dash container. Now this container is going to be centered in the page, and the card is going to be inside it. So let's actually create the body of the card, and we're going to throw that inside a section. So we're going to do a section with a class Homer-card, and we are going to drop the image first. Let's do img space. The source is going to be img/Homer, I believe. Yes. It's always a good idea to fill in the alt description. Let's just do Homer Simpson. And let's give it a class of Homer-img. Okay, this is good for now. Let's keep it this way. Let's hit save and let us preview the file. If you guys don't have this button right here, you guys want to go to the extensions and search for live server. And it's going to be this one right here. It has 3.1 million downloads. So you guys want to download it so you can preview the actual files. Okay. Let us hit go live. And there we have it. Now, let me bring this actually to the right so we can see it. Let's get this one right here. And let's do that. Okay, perfect. Now, let's work on centering the main container on the page, and then we'll work on Homer's image. Okay. All right. So let's do. Let me see. We are going to open the CSS file, and the first things first. I always like to take out the default margins and padding. So let's do margin 0, padding 0. Hate it when this happens. Let's save, and as you guys can see, like the margins and default paddings are gone. Okay. Let's do body in HTML. Let's make the height of it 100 VH. That's gonna make it the height of the viewport. And let's give it the background color. Background, you guys remember from the design, it was CB, CB, CB. And save it. Okay, that looks good. Let us also import the font. Since we are here, what we're gonna do is add font face. And the font family, let's call it Simpsons. And the source is going to be a URL, and it is from font /sim font underscore demo.otf. Make sure you guys type the right file name, otherwise it's not going to work. And inside our body, let's give it the font family. Font family Simpsons. Done. Okay. Now let's actually style the main container that's holding the card. So we'll do .main container. Okay, I don't know if you guys know about FLEXBOX, but it's one of the best things that ever happened to CSS. If you guys want me to go in depth into HTML and CSS and do tutorials and stuff like that, just let me know in the comments. You know, I'm open to any suggestions or ideas or whatever. But anyways, the way you work with FLEXBOX is inside anything that you want, you just do display flex. And what happens is, nothing, you're not going to see anything at the beginning, but it's doing its magic. Let's see. There are two directions for FLEXBOX. There's a row and a column. The default one is a row, but we want our card to take the direction of a column. And we want to center it. So we are going to do justify content, center, and we are going to do line items, center. And now you guys are going to see it's centered, but it's still not centered on the, what do you call it, the middle of the page, because it doesn't have a height. So once we give it a height of 100 viewport height, and I always type CH, it is going to center, and that looks cool. Now, let us work on Homer's card. Again, it's going to be a flex container which has a column. It's going to have the image, it's going to have the clouds, the logo, and the button, and all that stuff. So let's do that next. Let's do Homer dash card. That's the name of the container. Again, display flex, flex direction, column. Let's give it a width. Let's do about 500 pixels. Let's do a height of 80%. Let's give it a background. This is actually the body of the card. You guys will see it in a bit. So we want it to be white. Let's give it a border radius. Let's do about 15 pixels. That's going to give it the rounded corners right here on the edges. Let's give it the black border from the design. Let's do about 4 pixels. Let's do solid, and let's make it black. 0, 0, 0. Okay, and we want to give it the drop shadow. We can do that with filter. And we want a drop shadow. And we want it to be minus 15. 15. And 50. And we want it to be a certain shade of black. We don't want it to be complete black. We're gonna do 0, 0, 0, and an opacity of 0.4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 0.4. Should do it. Let's see what's happening here. And there you go. Okay. So we got the container. It looks good. Just to make sure it works cross-browser, it's always a good idea to throw in a WebKit in there too. So instead of filter, we do a WebKit dash filter. Nothing's gonna happen. This is just for cross-browser. And let's give Homer's image the border too. So let's do Homer dash img. That's Homer's image, and we want to give him a border radius. So we'll do border radius, and let's do 10 pixels, 10 pixels, 0, and 0. Now you guys are asking, why the hell did I do that and not just type 10? Okay, here's a little trick. So the way this works is when you don't want to apply a border to the whole object, the image, you can specify which corner you want to round. So it actually goes clockwise. So 10 pixels are applied to this corner, 10 pixels are applied to this corner, and for these two, nothing. 0, 0. And by the way, this same technique, the clockwise technique, works on margins, paddings, you name it. This works on a lot of other CSS thingies, whatever the properties. So that's a little trick for you. Okay, this is looking great so far, guys. Let's go back to the HTML. And let's see, what are we gonna do next? Okay, let's put the cloud and let's put the logo in there. We are still inside the section. Make sure you're still inside the section. We are going to group them. it's better. It's always better. Let's just do a div. And we need an image. The source is going to be the big cloud. So img/big cloud. Always a good idea to give it an alt description. And let's give it a class of big cloud. Okay. Let's do another img for the logo. Source is going to be img, and I believe it's called title. Let's call this one the Simpsons logo. And let's give it a class of logo. And last things last, we need an img for the small cloud. Source img small cloud. And let's give it a class of small dash cloud. Okay, let's save and see what the hell happened. Oh, look at that. Because it's going in column direction because of FLEXBOX, it got all messed up, but don't worry about that. Let's go to CSS and fix that. Okay, so big cloud first, and we called it big dash cloud. Now we want to get it out of the FLEXBOX flow. So easiest thing to do is just do position absolute. As soon as you hit that, something happens. Let's do let's give it a margin left. Let's do minus 95 pixels. Let's see what happens with that. Okay, it went to the left. Let's push it a little bit to the top. Let's do a margin top. Minus 60 pixels. Okay, that looks fine. Let's see. We need to let's give it a z index, just in case, so it can pop to the front on top of everything. Okay, and we actually need to copy and paste the filter. This is the drop shadow, so let's just do copy and paste, and that is done right here. Okay, now let us work on the logo next. So dot logo, and for the logo we want again position absolute. Same thing, we're just gonna play with the margins. You probably guys guessed it, it's gonna be margin top and margin left, I believe. Yes. So let's do margin left first. Let's give it 70 pixels. And by the way, you guys, these are not magic numbers. I mean, I just did it before time. You know, you just play with the numbers, whatever is working for you, for your design. Because maybe your logo is smaller, so the numbers are going to be different. You just have to make sure it looks good on your side. Let's give it a margin top. Let's do minus 10 pixel. Let's save that, and z index, let's just give it a 10 for now, see what happens. I just want to make sure it pops to the front. There you go. Now you see they're stacking, right? So the z index, by the way, stacks the items. So when you want to bring stuff on top of stuff, you use the z index, just in case you didn't know. And again, let's copy and paste the same filter on it, and now it has the drop shadow. Okay, next, small cloud. And it's pretty much the same crap. Position absolute, margin left 320 pixels, margin top 30 pixels. Let's do z index 5, just like the big cloud, and let's paste the filter on it. And there you have it, guys. We just aligned everything. It looks nice. These are coming out of the card. The card's looking like 3D-ish. Looks great. Okay. what is next? Let us look at our design. Okay, we need to add the button. So let's add the button. And that one's easy. We just do button, and we are going to give it a class of btn. Hit enter, and inside it we need the image. So the source is going to be img/button right there, and let's just call it button for now. And let's give this a class of btn-image, and we need the text, so let's do a p. Let's type hover me, and let's give it a class of btn font. Okay, let's save, and it's all messed up, as you guys can see. It's all squashed. No worries, CSS to the rescue. Let's do this. So btn, which is the actual container that holds the button, let's give it a border, none. That takes out the border. Let's give it background, none. That takes all the garbage behind it. And let's give it an outline of none too. Okay, now we need to hold on, actually, yeah, let's do a cursor pointer that turns the mouse into the little pointer thingy, and we need to put the filter on it again, but this time the filter is going to be different a little bit. We are going to do it, let's do it at 2, and we'll make these 5, and the same thing for this one, 5, 5, and 5. There you have it. Now don't worry guys, we will fix the stuff why it's stacking below there. Don't worry about that. Just follow along. Now let's do the font. btn font, the font family, it's Simpsons. Let's do a font size of 2M. Let's do a margin left, 300 pixels. Let's do a margin top, -68. Let's give it a color of black. And this one is very important. I will show you this thing later on. Pointer events, none. I will explain what this stuff does later on. I'll make sure to remember this. But anyways, let's work on the image of the button. And this is what's going to push it down right here. So btn image, let's push it down with a margin top, 100 pixels. And there you have it. And let's do a margin left of 250. Okay. Now, if you guys are wondering what the hell is happening, don't worry. It's all gonna look good at the end. Let's add the description. We're gonna hide it, but for now, let's just add it. Okay, so right here, we are going to create another div, and we are going to call it description. We're going to have an h1, and it is going to say Homer Simpson. And we are going to have the description right here, which is going to be a p. I'm just going to copy and paste this, guys, because Again, I don't want to waste your time typing this stuff. But what I did is I just typed some funny stuff, you know, husband, good dad, Duff beer. And then I got these emojis from Emojipedia. You just copy and paste them in here. And you'll get something that looks like this. Yeah. Okay. Let's save. Now it's going to look like crap even more. Let's go back to style. And let us fix this. So we are going to do dot description, which is the div we just added. Let's do a padding of 0 top and bottom, 20 left and right. Let's give it a margin minus 50. Auto, 0, and auto. And if you guys remember what I was just telling you about the clockwise thingy, this applies to everything. Hopefully you guys will remember that. Just remember your watch. Let's give it an opacity of 0 because we don't want to see it. We're going to show it with code. And let's do text align center. And then we need to work on the H1. Description H1. We are going to give it a font size of 2M and a margin bottom of 10 pixels. And then the last thing we need to do is the dot description, the paragraph, which is the text. Let's just give it a font family of sans. You can choose whatever font you want. I just like this one. It's the default one anyways. Let's give it a font weight. We want it bold. We want the font size. Let's do 1.5 M. Okay. So now things are being pushed around. I hope you guys are noticing that. That should do it for this. The last thing that we need to do is bring the donut in there and hide it. So let's bring it. The easiest way to do that is to put it right here. Right outside of that the section that holds a card. So we'll do an image. The source is going to be img/donut. Let's just call it donut. Dough, is that how you type it? Donut. Okay. And let's just give it a class of donut. Okay. And you're going to see it's over there. It's going to push stuff down. Don't worry about that. CSS to the rescue. Donut. Let's give it a width. 200 pixels. Let's give it a height. 200 pixels as well. Position absolute. That's what's going to take it out of the flow. Let's give it a top of 100 pixels. A left 50%. That's going to center it from the left 50%. But what we need to do is transform. And we need to translate it minus 50%. With a 0 right there. And that should make it look good. This thing is still bothering me, so I'm gonna cut the video right now and come back to it and figure out why it's not working. So just stick around, guys. Okay, guys, sorry about that. We are back. Turns out the problem was actually very simple and very pesky. And look at this. We forgot to put the / right here. That's why I wasn't getting the font. So anyways, let's get back to it. Just in case you guys are confused, the reason you guys don't see the text right here in the description is because it's hidden, and we are gonna bring that back in CSS. I mean in JavaScript. So don't worry about that. If you're confused, just I promise you, follow me, and everything will be very clear. You see right here, opacity is 0. And then the second thing you might be confused about is you guys can't see the donut, right? You're like, we added it, it's right here, but we can't see it, right? And the reason why you guys can't see it is because I pushed it right here with the top 100 pixels, so it's behind the card. And I mean, to prove that to you guys, I can just do 50, and there you go, it starts popping out. So the reason I put it at 100 is because, again, we're gonna push it up with code. And speaking of code, it is time for us to download the library. So we are going to go to Google, and we are going to type Anime.js, anime, something like that, whatever they guys call it. This is this awesome library, guys. I highly suggest you look at it. It is crazy. Anyways, we don't have time to go over all this juiciness. Just hit download, and you're good to go. So we need a directory, so let's do make directory, and we are gonna call it JS. All right, and what I am going to do is go back to the source. Where was my source? Did I just close my source? Nice. Okay, no problem. We'll go here in the code, source, and this is the file that you guys are going to download, and you are going to copy it into your JS. And there we have it. Now we have a JS folder with that file in there. That's cool. And we also need to make another file in there, and we are going to call it animation or whatever you guys want. So let's do touch JS slash let's do animation.js. Okay, now we got these two files right here. Let's include them into the actual file. So we are going to do a script, and the source for the first one is going to be js slash anim or anime, or I don't know what they call it. Let's copy paste, and the second script that we need is our own one, which we called it animation.js. Cool. All right, let's open animation.js and let's start working on this baby. Let's hide this because we don't need it. Okay, first things first, we need to select this button, because whenever we hover the mouse over it, we want this stuff to animate. So let's do a const, let's call it button, and we are going to do document.query selector, and we are going to select the class that is called button. Okay, now what do we want to do? Well, we need to add an event listener for the button. So let's do button.add event listener. What do we want? We want the mouse over, and we need to give it an arrow function that what? Let's just keep it empty for now. But we are going to do another event listener for the mouse out. And let's just keep it that way for now. This looks good. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's see, what do we want to animate first? Let's go with Homer's image. How about that? Okay, let's fade Homer's image. Okay, so we're gonna need a const. Let's call it Homer img. And again, it's document query selector, and it is the one with the class called Homer-img. And you guys, I hope you guys know JavaScript, at least the basics. If not, let me know in the description. I can do tutorials. I can do ES6 essentials, whatever you guys want. This is an open channel, so it's all up to you. Just let me know in the description. Now, on our mouse over, it is time to use that awesome anime or anim library. So the way you use it is you type anim, and Jesus Christ, you type anim, and what it takes is an object. It is as simple as that, guys. This library is insanely good. And the way you target a DOM object is you type targets, and we want Homer IMG right here. And what do we want to do with Homer IMG? Let's do opacity 0, because we want to fade him, and let's give it a duration about 200 milliseconds, or I believe that's 200th of a second. And easing, let's do linear. Now you guys, you need to go over to the documentation on Anime.js, on Anime.js's website, and you guys will see all these properties, and you'll know exactly what I'm doing. But for now, just follow me if you're confused. So let's see, what the hell did we do? So on mouse over, Homer's image should disappear. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that. Okay, now it's not going to come back, obviously, because we need to bring it back over here. Let's not worry about that for now. Let's target. Let me just refresh this because this is freaking annoying right now. Okay. Let's get the big cloud, and let's get the small cloud. Let's get the logo. Okay, so let's copy these babies. 1, 2, 3. Let's call this one the big cloud, and let's call this one the small cloud, and let's call this one the logo. The big cloud is the class of big cloud. The small cloud has a class of small cloud, and logo has the class of logo. Okay, we got those three. Let's do another anim. Let's give it the brackets for the object. Targets. This time we're going to do the big cloud. And what are we going to do? We are going to translate it. We'll do that in the Y direction. We'll give it -250. Let's give it an offset of 200. Now, I'll explain what the offset is later on. It's all about the timing, so the animation looks smooth. Let's copy this one, and we are going to target the small cloud, and this time the small cloud is going to have an offset of 100. So what happens is, if you guys can see with the timing, the 200 happens later, and the 100 comes before. So it kind of gives that bounciness, like a space between the animations. You'll guys understand once we run the animation. So let's just copy this for now. Do it for the logo. We want to target the logo. Again, we want to translate it in Y to -250. This time we're going to give it a duration. Give it a duration of 200, and let's make the easing again linear, and we don't need to give it an offset. Okay, let's see what the hell did we do right now. Oh, look at that, guys. Wasn't that awesome? Come on, look at it. See, what happens is the logo animates first, then the second cloud follows it, and then the big cloud follows it, and then the smaller cloud. Anyways, we can play with this forever, guys. I hope you're enjoying this. Anyways, let's bring him back so we don't have to keep on refreshing this stuff every time. Let me just copy this because this tutorial is getting really long. We'll do a big cloud, small cloud, and logo. I'm just gonna paste it here, but we're gonna run through it. So what happens is Homer's image, we faded it to 0 over there, so we're bringing it back to 1. The big cloud, we translated it to -250, so we're bringing it back to 0. Same thing with the small cloud, same thing with the logo. I just copy and pasted, by the way, this stuff. This goes to 0, back to its original position. This goes back to 1. Very simple, you guys, very intuitive. You're gonna love this library. You just have to try it and see it for yourself. So, bam, bam. Look at that, you guys. Okay, what's left? I mean, almost nothing. We just need to bring that donut and show the text. Easy peasy. Easy peasy, guys. Okay, let's do the donut. We need to grab it first, obviously. Let's do const donut document.query selector, and we called it donut. Let's come here. Let's chain these babies up. Let's do enum. Again, it takes an object, targets. We are going to target the donut. What do we want to do? Remember, guys, the top. Remember, it's sitting at 100 pixels right now. It's right here. So we want to bring its top up there. Something like, I don't know, maybe a 10 would be nice. And then let's give it a duration. Let's slow it down a little bit because I want it to come right after the cloud animation. So let's give it a duration of maybe 500 would work. And let's give it an offset too. Let's do about 350. Save it. Again, I'm going to copy it. Let's paste it down here at the mouse out. And then from top 10, we are going to bring it down to top 100, which is where it sits originally. And I want to this time give it a duration of 1000. So it slows down. It's the last thing to hide, basically. So these go up. This goes up later on, and then when these come down, it's the last one to come down. And I don't know why this is happening, you guys. This is tripping out for now, but let's see the donut. And nothing is happening. Oh my god. What happened here? Donut. Oh, of course it's not gonna. Look at that, you guys. Of course it's not gonna work. We're not even targeting the class. Damn it. Now we are targeting the class. There's the donut. You see how it pops up the last item? That's because of the timing and the delay. I mean the duration and the offset. And again, doop, 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 doop. Okay. Finally, the last thing, the icing on the cake. Let's just show the description. I'm just going to copy it from the code right here. Let me drop it for you guys really fast. That's the description. Let me grab the animation for the description. We'll do it last. Right here. So basically, we're targeting the description. Opacity is 1. We are delaying it a lot because we want this stuff to be up here before it shows. And giving it an offset. And then on the mouse out. Sorry about that. On the mouse out, we bring it back to 0. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look at it one final time. Doop. Doop. How awesome is that, you guys? Hope you enjoyed this tutorial, by the way. I mean, it's my first one. I probably took me like 3 weeks to record this video. Whoever says making YouTube videos is easy is just completely bullshitting you guys. It is a lot of hard work. A lot of hard work, actually. Oh. Nah, you guys thought I forgot, right? Okay. Remember we talked about this thing? Let me show you. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay. If this whole tutorial was garbage, just this one CSS property right here is going to make it worth it. So let me hide this one. And you guys remember, this was on the font itself, on the text. So what happens is, now when you hover on the background of the button, the animation works fine, no problem. But when you hover on the text, look what happens. See, weird stuff starts to happen. Because what's happening is, it is going out of the background and it's hovering on a new item, which is the text, the P. So if you guys don't want that to happen, you see, it is just absolutely ugly. If you guys don't want that to happen, you go and you give it this property, which says pointer events none. So basically what happens is this P, the one that has the font on it, it is not going to respond to the mouse at all. And what happens is you can do this. See, now it's gone. And I hope this trick is helpful to you guys. Anyways, let's put this in full screen. Let's watch it one more time. Doop, doop, doop. Really fun, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. By the way, bonus points to whoever can fix this little bug. Watch this. Look at that. Look at this garbage. If you guys know how to fix this, bonus points for you, by the way. I did this on purpose. But if you guys want to research it and post your findings in the comment, that would be awesome. I'll give you a little hint. Basically, the animations are not, let's say they're not getting enough time. They're being disrupted. Anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for sticking around till the end of this video. If you guys enjoyed it, leave me a like, maybe subscribe. I don't know what's gonna happen with this channel. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. You guys are more than welcome to leave comments. I'm gonna respond to everybody pretty much. This channel is gonna be about design and programming at the same time. So let's build it into something useful, you know, where you guys can enjoy the content and I can help you guys out. I don't know. Let's see what happens, guys. Anyways, peace, and thank you so much for checking out the video.